Welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. Your hosts, Gary Lipsky and Kyle Mitchell, have more than 50 years of combined experience in operations and management and more than 25 years of real estate investing experience. This show focuses on educating syndicators and apartment owners on how to build systems and manage their properties more efficiently to become a best-in-class operator. 100% straight talk. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. I'm your co-host Kyle Mitchell, also joined by Gary Lipsky. This podcast is focused on educating operators, building better systems, and becoming a best-in-class operator. Also be sure to check out our Facebook group, Asset Management Mastery. All right, today on the show we have Jacob Garza. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing fine, Kyle. How about you?
I'm doing great. We appreciate your time, and if you could start by telling the listeners a little bit more about yourself and what you currently do.
Certainly. So I've been in multifamily for 9 years now, and we bought our first property in San Antonio, a 24 unit. My wife and I purchased that. And we did all the self-managing on that particular property and ended up buying, of course, a few more after that. And today we're about 2,700 units. We have 4 properties in Houston. Going to close on one in about 8 weeks, and 8 in San Antonio.
Fantastic. Well, you mentioned it right from the beginning, being vertically integrated. So let's talk about that. What made you decide to start your own property management company?
Yeah, so I get that question a lot, and I think I'm a little crazy because property management is a very busy business, as I like to say. But I've had businesses my whole life, and I kind of like building teams. I like putting strategy in place. And if you have the right people, your executives reporting to you, it makes that job a whole lot easier. And fortunately, through this process of having our management company, we've hired some really solid people. So we've been able to, stay on the equity side, buy, and the asset management side. We've also been able to kind of control the levers and push the buttons the way we really want to for the property management side. So it's worked out well for us, and here we are today.
Fantastic. What about for that young sponsor who's thinking about starting his own property management company? What one piece of advice would you give that person?
Yeah. So if you want to start your own management company, you have to be involved. You're going to have to hire assuming you don't have a ton of money and start your third or fee base. If you have 300 or 400 units, you're the one's going to hire the managers, right? You're the one's going to hire a lot of the maintenance people. So you're going to have to provide a lot of these very low level leadership capabilities. But your plan to that point is to hurry up and grow, because once you get to about 1,000 units, you can hire a regional, right? So that you can start handing off just a ton of that. The trick is, how do you do that and then grow? So a little story, we hit about I think it was probably 400 units, and we actually went third party. So we acquired 1,000 because we couldn't bridge the gap between running a management company and buying. It's 2 different disciplines that take a ton of time. Excuse me. So that's what we did. So the young guys out there, work it, get 300 or 400 units, go to third party. It'll give you some great experience doing that, by the way. Take them back at 1,000 units or 1,200 units, open up a small office, open up a little accounting people, maybe one, and a regional. You're off to the races at that point.
Nice. Well, you answered my next question, which was, what are one of the most difficult things? But getting to that scale, is so important. So what are the huge advantages of having your own property management company while you're buying these assets?
Yeah. So what I feel like is an advantage of having our own management company is when we go on a broker tour, I'm going to guess about 80% of the time, 2 of our property management executives are with us. And then we go to the debrief of, okay, they understand the story. We go back to the office and we put together a high level, CapEx plan. And then we meet maybe 2 weeks later if we happen to get it under contract. And then there's some more planning before we go to due diligence. So by the time we go to DD, our management executive and our CapEx person have already seen a lot of it. They've already seen the property most likely. And then they've heard about it. They've heard the story. They understand our vision. So they pretty much have it at that point. And I think it makes it real easy for us as we go through due diligence and the third parties come in and what some of the bids are coming in, what we're trying to do. And then the reserves that come in, they're all involved in this. So when they take over the property day one, our website is done. Our colors are picked out. So that's a huge advantage, in my opinion, because we're so tightly integrated like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle and I bring our property management team involved in the process right from the beginning. So they're involved in our underwriting, our business plan, everything. So we're off to the races, and it's as seamless as a transition as possible. And that's what you're creating. So
Yep.
Kudos to you. So you've got San Antonio and Houston. So do you have two different offices? How do you make it work as you continue to expand and spread your company?
Yeah. So we bought our first property in 2018 in Houston. So it was kind of by itself. It took us a while to break in the market. We're trying something a little different. In Houston, we have area managers instead of regionals. So each area manager has two properties in addition to their own that they're responsible for. So not only do they manage their own, they have to have a very strong assistant manager, real strong, but they can manage these other two. They're in the game and it's working for us. We heard this from another management company guys like us, right, who own or manage. And they're 14,000 units. So it's actually working out really well so far. And we'll find out how the process continues to go as we move up. But that's how we did it in Houston, and it worked.
Nice. And are you going to evolve into anything else for your team as far as the property management and the assets? Anything else that you're going to add to the vertically integrated company?
Well, we do most of our own construction in-house, which is nice. We're building our team in Houston. We do our utility billing in-house. We don't use anybody third party anymore, and that's really helped us capture more income on the RUB side, and we do it a little cheaper, so it really has helped out. Let's see, where there's something else I was going to mention to you that we're about to pull in house. I'll think of it in a second. But yeah, we don't try to be experts at everything, right? We don't do roofs, we don't paint buildings, but we try to do some of the things that we feel like like you said earlier, we get some scale up and hire a person to do it. So yeah.
Fantastic. All right, I'm going to pass it to Kyle to take us home.
All right, Jacob, what is your asset management superpower?
Wow. Okay. I'm just lucky enough to hire the right people. I mean, that's really what it's about. And especially today, I don't know about your guys' payroll, but it's no longer freaking $1,100 a door. I don't know, whatever it was. It's a lot higher than that. You got to pay your people. So being able to do that, I think brings the distributions to the owners and takes care of the property. So that would probably have to be it.
Okay, perfect. We appreciate you coming on. If you can tell listeners a little bit more about where they can find out about you and your company.
Absolutely. You can go to reapequity.com or just email me. It's my name, my email address. It's jacob@jacobgarza.com. Be happy to create a dialogue with them.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time today. And to all of our listeners out there, if you like this episode, please give us a like, subscribe, and review so we can continue to grow the episode or the podcast. And we'll talk to you all next week.
Okay. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please go to iTunes and leave a rating and written review to help us grow and reach more listeners. You can also go to the Asset Management Mastery Group on Facebook so you can reach Kyle and Gary and ask your questions that you want them to answer on the show. Subscribe too so you can get the latest episodes. Lastly, to stay updated, go to assetmanagementmastery.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with Gary and Kyle, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to them directly. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to tune in again next week for another episode.